To be fair, a couple weeks ago,
That's all you can control.
Yeah.
I turned it around trying to get some Chiefs magic. Like we're trying to spread the goodwill, you know?
A golden goddess at a wedding, kids eating dog food, and a confession involving Brazilian wax that'll make you cringe. Welcome to the most chaotic celebrity week ever on VIP Celeb Zone, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. Don't forget to subscribe. Glitter bombs, football drama, chaotic kids, and a confession involving wax that you won't believe. Welcome to the mess. First up, Taylor Swift just turned a friend's wedding into her own golden moment, and honestly, we're not mad about it. Then, Kylie Kelce hilariously puts Jason in his place for taking his Eagles obsession way too seriously, even in retirement.
They are absolutely disgusting. Germs are everywhere, especially with these tiny humans.
And if that wasn't wild enough, Kylie also spills the tea on her daughter's absolutely disgusting, but weirdly adorable, habits during flu season.
Would you rather be forced and tortured catching Kelce on a loop for the rest of your life, or get Brazilian waxed like Jason?
I'd rather get Brazilian wax.
Finally, Travis admits he'd rather go through an extremely painful grooming experience than ever watch his old reality show again. Yeah, it's that bad. New Year's Eve usually brings the classics: questionable party hats, someone screaming "New Year, New Me" while downing their third drink, and at least one friend who's convinced they can rock sequins. But this year, the sequins won the night, because Taylor Swift literally glittered her way into a Stay Hayes wedding like a human champagne bottle. On Wednesday night, December 31st, the pop superstar made a main character entrance at her longtime friend's star-studded celebration. An insider said the vibe instantly shifted from cute wedding moment to wait, is this a red carpet? She didn't just show up, she arrived like the final boss of New Year's Eve glamour, wearing a shimmering gold sequin gown that looked like it came with its own lighting crew. The dress featured a plunging neckline and a flowy pleated skirt that practically begged for a dramatic twirl. If the goal was golden disco goddess who casually wandered in from a fabulous alternate dimension, mission absolutely accomplished. Her accessories? Chef's kiss. She wore statement earrings that did all the talking, a tan shawl draped effortlessly over her arms like she was about to drop a secret and vanish into the night, and a matching handbag that tied the whole look together. It wasn't loud in an obnoxious way. It was loud in a "yes, I know I look incredible, and yes, I'm going to act like I threw this together in 5 minutes" kind of way. Honestly, if glitter had a national anthem, this outfit would be it. And because the universe loves iconic moments, Taylor was also spotted hanging out with Stevie Nicks at the ceremony. Stevie kept it effortlessly legendary in an all-black ensemble, because of course she did. Sources described the energy between them as the kind of casually powerful presence that makes you sit up straighter and reconsider your entire life. Imagine being in a room where Taylor Swift is glowing in gold and Stevie Nicks is radiating witchy rock star energy. That's not just a wedding guest list, that's a pop culture power move. Of course, this wasn't some random celebrity cameo. Taylor and Estee go way back, and people who know them say it's the kind of friendship that's both genuine and creative. They've collaborated on tracks like No Body, No Crime, and Gasoline, plus they've had unstage moments that made fans lose their minds. They've always clicked, not just as artists, but as real friends who show up for the big moments and make them even bigger. Naturally, fans absolutely lost it the second photos hit social media. People were throwing out compliments like confetti. One person called her elegant, another practically demanded to know where they could buy the dress, like it's a basic human right, and others joked that she nearly outshone the bride, which, to be fair, is a bold statement to make at a wedding. But also, have you seen that gown? Another fan summed up the collective chaos by saying that being in a room with both Taylor and Stevie would be too powerful to survive.
To be fair, a couple weeks ago,
That's all you can control.
Yeah.
I turned it around trying to get some Chiefs magic. Like we're trying to spread the goodwill, you know?
While the glitter and star power are still fresh in everyone's minds, the Kelce household is proving that New Year's energy doesn't stop at champagne and sequins. It just morphs into full-blown Eagles chaos, with Kylie Kelce trying to stop Jason from turning game day into a one-man Broadway show. Kylie doesn't call Jason out because she's annoyed. She does it because she loves him, knows him inside and out, and has front row seats to the fact that this man's Eagles obsession has gone from passionate fan to Sir, please take a breath levels. Even after retiring, Jason still watches Philadelphia games like he's personally responsible for the final score, like Coach Sirianni is going to text him mid-drive asking for advice. Sources say the intensity hasn't faded one bit. If anything, it's evolved into something louder, funnier, and occasionally just a little too much, like a dad joke that refuses to die. Kylie, of course, is no stranger to the emotional roller coaster. She's been riding the Eagles' highs and lows right alongside him for years, and she's developed her own survival tactics. During a recent episode of New Heights, she admitted she has a superstition for when things start going south, she literally turns away from the TV. Like, full I cannot watch this with my own eyeballs mode.
It's a selfless act. It's a selfless act because it's like...
It's a sacrifice.
It's
a sacrifice of your own fandom.
Yes, because I'm like, I want to watch this so badly.
She treats it like a serious sacrifice too, because she wants to watch, but she's convinced that her refusal to look might somehow convince the football gods to be kind to Philly. It's wholesome, it's dedicated, and it's giving. If I don't look, maybe they'll stop fumbling.
Sounds like you guys got to black out the games.
That's a big time sacrifice. I was going like animal sacrifice. That's how I went in my head.
And that's where the chaos really kicked in. Jason, being Jason, immediately heard sacrifice and thought, how can I take this to a deeply uncomfortable level? He leaned right into it, asking how they could up the sacrifice since the Eagles were still losing. Travis Kelce, because he's basically the human embodiment of stirring the pot, suggested they just black out the games entirely. And Jason? Jason went full unhinged comedian and jumped straight to the most extreme idea possible, joking about animal sacrifice. Because of course he did. Why take the normal exit when you can drive straight into Bizarre Town?
Why do you always take it one step too far?
Kylie was immediately not having it. Her reaction was basically the verbal equivalent of holding up her hand like, stop, right there. She called him out for always taking things one step too far, which, honestly, could be stitched onto a pillow and gifted to every spouse who's ever watched their partner get carried away with literally anything.
I'd be willing to sacrifice a cat.
But Travis, still fanning the flames, pushed again and asked what animal would even be sacrificed. Jason, continuing his chaotic streak, joked about a cat. Cue laughter, but also cue Kylie rolling her eyes so hard you could probably hear it from across the state.
That was uncalled for, but hilarious.
Even Travis had to pump the brakes and be like, okay, that one was too much. Because when Travis Kelce becomes the voice of reason, you know the conversation has officially left the group chat and entered dangerous territory.
All right, bring it in, team. It's cold and flu season, and I'm a big-time germaphobe.
But honestly, this is exactly why people are obsessed with the Kelces outside of football. It's the mix of honesty, teasing, and Kylie being the CEO of boundaries. Jason can be intense, Travis can be chaotic, and Kylie's there like, all right, clowns, wrap it up. It feels real, it feels funny, and it shows just how seriously Jason still takes the Eagles, even now that he's retired and living that analyst life. And now, Kylie Kelce is bringing that same unfiltered energy to parenting, because she just hopped on Instagram and jokingly called her four daughters absolutely disgusting. And somehow, it was the most relatable thing on the internet. Kylie is basically the patron saint of I love my kids, but wow, they're feral, and she's not even trying to hide it. In a new Instagram video, she showed up like she was about to deliver a tactical briefing, except instead of football plays, it was her cold and flu season defense strategy. Kylie admitted she's a hardcore germaphobe, so in her mind, this time of year isn't festive, it's biological warfare.
You could say I'm the defensive coordinator of the Kelce household. I refuse to get blindsided this year.
And in classic Kylie fashion, she framed herself as the defensive coordinator of the Kelce household, basically saying she refuses to get blindsided by viruses this year. Honestly, the way she talks about germs, you'd think she's about to slap a helmet on a bottle of Purell and send it into battle.
For kids, 2 in school, one who licks crackers off the ground and tries to feed them to me.
But the reason she's on high alert? Her kids. And according to Kylie, these tiny humans are moving through life like they were raised by extremely confident raccoons. She casually listed off things that make every parent nod in solidarity while every non-parent gasps in horror. One of her daughters apparently licks crackers off the ground and then tries to feed them to Kylie like it's some kind of Michelin star tasting menu.
Another one who accidentally ate dog food. They are absolutely disgusting. Germs are everywhere, especially with these tiny humans.
Another one allegedly ate dog food by accident, which is both horrifying and also deeply on brand for a household with kids and at least one dog. Kylie basically looked at the camera like, Yep, I birthed them. Yes, I love them. No, I don't understand them.
Would you rather be forced and tortured watching Catching Kelce on a loop for the rest of your life or get Brazilian waxed like Jason?
I'd rather get Brazilian wax.
And speaking of the Kelce universe being one giant comedy special with plot twists, Travis is now admitting he'd rather get a Brazilian wax in the most uncomfortable way possible than relive his most controversial TV era. One fan question came in like a missile aimed straight at Travis's dignity. The listener basically asked, would he rather be forced to watch Catching Kelce on an endless loop for the rest of his life, or get a Brazilian wax like Jason did? And Travis didn't even hesitate. He immediately chose the wax like it was the obvious, sane option, which tells you everything you need to know about how much he regrets that show.
Yeah, I'd rather just get my gooch waxed.
Imagine preferring pain, screaming, and your soul leaving your body over watching your own past decisions in HD. Jason, who already survived a Brazilian wax earlier this year for a Speedo-filled charity event in Philly, apparently backed him up with the energy of a man who's been through the trenches and lived to tell the tale. Travis doubled down and basically confirmed he'd rather sacrifice his entire lower half than sit through that dating show again. Yes, he really went there. The internet didn't know whether to laugh, cry, or call a dermatologist.
Up the sacrifice?
This, of course, reopened the Catching Kelce conversation, the 2016 reality dating show where Travis dated 50 women, one from each US state, in a very what could possibly go wrong setup. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time. If you loved this celebrity chaos, smash that like button and subscribe to VIP Celeb Zone for more exclusive tea, drama, and all the stories everyone's talking about. Hit that notification bell so you never miss the next wild update. Trust me, you don't want to be left out. See you in the next one.